So, in a random Wednesday release, we finally got iOS 26.2 RC on our iPhone 17 Pro Max. It's out for registered developers and applicable devices. First things first, it just finished installing, and I want to do a temp check since we haven't done one recently. And I could tell you actually, right off the bat, even just picking this up, it felt warm, but not nearly as hot as it has recently. And as you can see, these numbers do verify that as well. We're not even hitting 100 degrees, so that is great to see. One other thing too, this did come in a little over 8 gigs. However, this is the RC. We did not get a beta for this time, which is actually all good. We figured we were on track, but there was some question with the release schedule and the sort of delay here with this release. So I'm happy to say the RC is here and ready to go. I haven't actually had a lot of time to play with it yet, but I'm super excited. We needed this after beta 3 was just kind of so-so, especially in the battery life department and issues with the keyboard that seemed to be consistent throughout this beta cycle. So jumping into settings, general, and about, you can see iOS 26.2 RC has a build number here of 23C52. This actually was the rumored release build, and it actually seemed to be the case, which is definitely good to see. And let's take a look also at iPhone storage now, since we are on an RC, and see exactly how this is holding up. It looks like iOS 26.2 has a total size of 23.17 gigs, with 9.24 being reserved for Apple Intelligence and iOS itself at 13.94. Not crazy, still better than what it has been, but you can see system data here is slowly tricking up, and we are at 23.07 gigs. Now, as this is obviously an RC, there's not going to be any new features that are going to be here, but let's talk about some of the actual changes here. And one of the first ones is going to be in the Reminders app, where you can now have a new option to actually have an alarm set up and go off when a reminder is due. You can snooze if you want. It looks typically just like any alarm when they go off. Definitely good to see there. Nice new add. And then also, let's go ahead and jump into the lock screen. This is something we were super excited to see. However, we still hope it will come to the rest of the OS. We actually have more customizable options and actually a liquid glass slider here, as you can see, for the transparency of liquid glass from nothing to more of a solid look. I think kind of at the end of the slider here, it is really difficult to see. I don't know if a lot of people will be using that in the liquid glass font, but if it works with the background, this could be a very nice, cool new addition. We obviously do know as well, while we're talking about liquid glass, let's go ahead and get out of this. We do know in settings we did also get that tinted glass option under settings and then display and brightness. We have liquid glass toggle now, which allows you to select from clear and tinted. Really going to depend on what you want. We're not going to jump too much into this, but you can see you get more of a frosted glass or a clear glass in this icon, showing you exactly what that really entails. So take that for what you want. Hopefully it will continue to be pretty good, actually. And then we also do have some changes to AirDrop as well, where you can manage known AirDrop contacts and actually have a way to have people share files temporarily without having to add them as contacts. This was a definitely nice new addition here as well. And then in the music app, we also do have some changes here. And yes, if you didn't know, Replay for 2025 is now available as well, but now it does also support offline lyrics. So you can see a song's lyrics when not connected to Wi-Fi or cellular. So hypothetically, if you wanted to see all these lyrics, you can do so now without any internet connection. You do also have a new sleep score update changes with iOS 26.2 and watchOS 26.2. They really just adjusted ranges for sleep score for more accuracy. Not going to dive too much into that, but it is just something I wanted you guys to be aware of. And then also in the Podcasts app, we have some changes here as well, where now added support for 3 new features, including automatically created chapters, options to see mentions of other podcasts in the transcript and the player, and access to the links mentioned in a podcast on the episode page. You will see splash screens for all this. Obviously, since we've been running this demo or beta, we do not have that pop up currently. It is not present in the RC if you're coming from a prior build. Also, in the Passwords app, under Settings, there's now an option to manage websites where passwords are not saved when signing in. There are some other changes for AirPods Live Translation as well. If you are a fan of Freeform, in Freeform as well, you can see right here a new splash screen that says we now have tables in Freeform where you can organize your content, attach objects, you have a flexible layout, and style your table as well. So that is a nice touch. There's also some leaks that actually has coding in the backend that suggests the weather app here will actually now support relative time for alerts such as next Fridays, next Wednesdays, next Tuesdays in reference to upcoming rain or weather conditions. As you can see here, not sure why this is so delayed, but it is now opening. It's sometimes hung up even in the betas, and it looks like that has carried over a little bit here as well. Something we actually just released a video on earlier today too, in the settings, is now having the ability to have your flash set as alerts. In your accessibility settings, you can now have the ability to flash the screen. Previously, the setting was limited to just the LED on the back of the phone. If you're interested in that, we do have that video that just went live. Make sure to check that out. You do have enhanced safety alerts. There is a change to the Measure app. If you're looking at the level, as you can see here, it does look a lot nicer. And when you actually get it even, let's see if I can get this here. It's always harder than it looks. It's hard at this angle too. Let's see. You will get a green circle showing that everything is perfectly calibrated. Very cool, much different of a liquid glass interface here. That makes all the difference. In the Games app, this is something else we have talked about. If you go into this, there is now a change here for an option to sort games in the library by size. So if you're in here, you can obviously sort that just like this. A nice little quality of life improvement, but nothing crazy. There were some other CarPlay changes as well, but something you probably noticed right off the bat when we were scrolling through is just how much better the animations feel. When you go to long press, the easiest explanation and way to show it is just by going to edit, and look at that effect there. It is definitely a lot cleaner and definitely more fluid. I am a big fan of this change and definitely glad they have implemented that. There's also some changes to privacy. When you access your Apple account for the first time after installing 26.2, you'll see an alert letting you know that Apple's privacy information for Apple accounts has been updated to better explain how personal information is collected and used. There's now the ability to change Siri replacements in Japan, search engine choices, third-party app stores, and then obviously a ton of other changes for iPadOS that we will jump on in that video. But aside from that, obviously like we usually do, just jumping around to our apps, stock app, let's go ahead and just pull up an article. You can see everything is running quickly and smoothly as you would have hoped. If we jump into Clash, let's see how quickly this loads up for us. Looks about the same. There's a little update. It'll refresh, and then we will be in right now. So everything does seem to be right on track. Does seem to be pretty smooth and fluent. Don't have really any issues. Let's go ahead and just select this, jump in. And yeah, it definitely seems to be working pretty smoothly. Now, obviously, battery life is going to be a challenge. We will have our update in a follow-up video later in this week since it does drop on Wednesday. Probably not going to do it tomorrow. Stay tuned most likely Friday to the channel. Turn on notifications and subscriptions so you're aware when that comes out. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.